You didn't lose yourself all at once. It happened slowly, over time. In every moment you made yourself smaller so someone else could feel larger. Every need that you swallowed because the timing wasn't right. In every version of yourself you performed so well that eventually you forgot who you really are. You have become so good at being what is needed that your needs learn to be very, very quiet. And now you look around at your life and it looks like yours. The people, the responsibilities, the roles you play. And yet, something is missing, traveler. Not something on the outside, something on the inside. You. But here is what no one has told you. You didn't actually lose yourself. You hid yourself. And that difference changes everything. There is a version of you that functions beautifully. You show up. You hold things together. You know what to say and when to say it. You know how to make the room feel safe. That version is real, but it is not all of you. It is the part of you that learned being needed was safer than being truly known. And so underneath that version, there is a quieter one. The one that goes through the motions and doesn't know why it feels so flat, so numb. The one that looks in the mirror and recognizes the face, but doesn't quite recognize the person. You laugh at the right moments and help when asked. You hold everything for everyone, but then you lie awake at 3 a.m. with a heaviness you cannot name. Not sadness, just distance. From yourself and from the feeling of being alive in a way that truly feels like yours. And then there is the deepest layer, the one you almost never say out loud. Something missing that cannot find its name. You are grieving yourself. The version of you that existed before you learned that being yourself was something that required an apology. Before you learned to read the room or shrink. Before you learned that your needs were somehow too large for the space you were given. That version of you didn't die, traveler. It is hidden, and it has been waiting in the dark for some time. There are things you have been told, things that you have even told yourself, that you lost yourself because you stopped trying, that you forgot yourself because you weren't paying attention, that this is something you did to yourself, that you have been careless or weak, or that you are a failure. These are not true. Here is the first truth. Losing yourself is not a failure. It happens when a person who loves deeply is placed in a world that never showed them how to love themselves. You gave because it felt like love. You shrank because it felt like kindness. You hid parts of yourself because it felt like the only way to keep the peace. That is not weakness. You are someone who cared so much that you forgot to care for yourself. Here is the second truth. The part of you that feels lost is not gone. It learned that silence was safer than being heard, that being small was safer than being seen. That is ancient intelligence, traveler. Protective, yet exhausted. A part of you that hid to survive, and it is not broken. It found a way to protect you until something changed. And now, something is changing. This brings us to the third truth. The feeling of being lost is not the beginning of something going wrong. It is the first sign that something true in you has finally had enough. Enough hiding, enough emptiness. Something in you is ready to be found. And you are only here in Roseveil because some part of you already knows that. In the world of Roseveil, there is a name for what you are carrying. It is not a wound, but a crossing. Roseveil is a world built for souls like you. Souls who feel too much. souls who gave too much, souls who became so good at holding others that they forgot they were allowed to be held. This world is for travelers who are tired from carrying things for so long that they have forgotten what it feels like to set them down. A world for those who feel lost to remember who they are. In Roseveil, there are 4 houses, each one built for a different wound, a different gift, a different kind of soul who became lost on the way to becoming who they were always meant to be. Each house has a name. Each house has a scroll. Each house knows your wound as not something that needs to be fixed. You belong to one of these houses, traveler, and you can find out which one below. There are also Veilwalkers, ancient beings who cross the realm between light and shadow. They walk between worlds, carrying important messages that your soul must hear along your journey. If you recognized yourself somewhere in this crossing, you were meant to. That is not random. You have arrived at the Veil and are ready to begin your journey. The part of you that has been hidden is the part of you that found this, and it has been looking for a long time. One of the 4 houses is yours, and it knew you were coming. The door is below. Your journey in Roseveil awaits.